Then said he unto them, Nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and great earthquakes shall be in divers places, and famines, and pestilences, and fearful sights, and great signs shall there be from heaven. Luke chapter 21, verse 10 and 11. Shalom. I want to start off by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakodash. Double honors to our venerable apostles and elders at Great Millstone who rule well, and peace and blessings to the Lord's elect, the house of David. It's your brother Aaron coming back at you with a quick lesson, Lord, and be edifying and uplifting and informative unto the elect. All right, and I have an article I'm going to jump into real quick. The title goes, during the International Bird F Summit in Washington, D.C. in October, they will discuss mass fatality management planning. All right. It says, we're being told that it is just a matter of time before there's a BF demic among people or humans. We're also being told that the death rate during such a demic could be somewhere between 25 and 50%, and that should deeply alarm all of us. We have already seen the intense fear that a demic with a death rate of far less than 1% can cause. Can you imagine what a demic with a death rate of somewhere between 25 and 50% would look like? Many people don't even want to think about going through another demic or another major demic, but one may be coming anyway. All right, so the may, we have to change that and put will. All right, because as we just read in Luke, the 21st chapter, our Lord specifically mentions pestilences, okay, as another sign of the end times. All right, and when we talk about pestilences, when you go into the word pestilence, right? See if we can do that real quick. All right, it says any infectious or contagious disease. Okay, any infectious or contagious disease, all right, is a pestilence. Okay, so the BF, all right, would be definitely under that category. All right, if it has a mortality rate of 20 to 50% or 25 to 50%, you know. So we could definitely be seeing, all right, once this thing pops off, all right, this in October. It's very interesting. I did a video a couple of days ago, all right, going into how the DHS is doing emergency disaster planning and so on and so forth drills. They're doing simulations for that. All right, so it's very interesting that all these things is happening all at the same time. You know, where FEMA is coming in, you know, with the military and all that. You know what I mean? So we'll see. All right, right before election too. Right, we'll see. It says, right now, many among the elite are deeply focused on the threat that the BF poses. An international bird flu summit, it's in quotes, so I can say it, will be held in Washington, D.C. from October 2nd to October 4th. And according to the official, and it's very early in October, so we'll see. And according to the official brochure for the event, they will be discussing a highly virulent strain of BF affecting both cattle and humans. Interesting. Very, very interesting. It says a BF demic would be far worse than anything that we have been through so far. On the list of topics for this summit, the very first one is mass fatality management planning. Okay, and then you have surveillance and data management, preparing communities, strategies, local partnership and participation, right? So it's very interesting. It says delivery of the Vanessa and antiviral medication, medical countermeasures, socio-economic impact on poultry and livestock industries. That's also going to be leading to famines, right? Because that's also prophesied to be happening at the same time with the pestilences and so on and so forth, right? It says benefit risk assessment, which goes into public health, industry, and regulatory perspectives. Prevention, education efforts, and risk communication, right? What? Yeah, these people, man. Command, control, and management, emergency response management, which that's where FEMA comes in. All right, business-based planning, all right, school-based planning, community-based planning. Okay, so those are where the policies come in, right? So the business-based planning will mostly focus on, these new policies for these businesses. If you want to work, you have to come get protected here. If you want to go to school, again, the whole rundown that they did back in 2020, 2021, right? They're gonna bring that play right back. Okay. It says, personally, I have never heard a talk on mass fatality management planning. I don't suppose that such a talk would be especially cheerful. Unfortunately, if H5N1 starts spreading widely among humans, there will be a lot of deaths. Okay, and honestly, man, hey, because we've been waiting, bro. We've been waiting to see people start dropping. All these people that went and took the first round of this Myrna, the Myrna jump shot. You know what I mean? Now they're saying that I believe the Biden administration has already appointed Moderna. All right, interesting, Moderna, to mass produce the next Vanessas for the next go around. All right, I believe it might be in this article, but let's read and see. All right. It says former CDC Director Robert Redfield, which we brought him out a couple of times, right? Recently told News Nation that he believes that the BF epidemic is coming and that the death rate will be somewhere between 25 and 50%. All right, that's going to be mass casualty indeed. Okay, and it's I believe it's going to be those who took the J. All right, it's time. It's time. They said 2 to 5 years, so it's time. All right. Over the past 2 years, we have already seen more than 100 million birds get wiped out. So the same thing that they were doing to the birds, was that a model that they're going to be doing to people? That this is the type of disease or pestilence that once you get it, there's basically, you have a 50% chance of dying, basically. And at that point, since it's going to be so contagious and it spreads so fast and all kinds of different stuff going on, these new countermeasures might just be so dramatic and drastic and draconian that you might have to be separated. The moment, like they show you that in the movie Songbird, right? If think of all the measures that they took for a so-called pestilence that is 0.6% death rate, and look all the things that people had to go through. Okay, so imagine a 25 to 50% mortality rate. What kind of countermeasures are they going to be using? This is where the apps come in, right? The QR codes come in. Okay, the lockdowns come in. The FEMA troops patrolling the streets come in. Medical, martial law, if you will, come in, right? People you have to always check in and check out every day, everywhere you go, right? Just to make sure that you don't have any form of traces of this so-called pestilence, right? So we could definitely see something like that, where there's always this type of checkpoint. If you're using your phone, if you're leaving your house, you got to check in or check out, scan your face so they could make sure and detect if you have any, viruses going on or diseases or whatever, and then they will quickly transition out. They might just jump straight to the MOTP, but we'll see. It says, and now mammals all over the planet are getting infected in large numbers. Okay, so that means they got to get called. All right, CULL, they got to get called. Okay, it says, so far, very few humans have caught the disease, and we should be very thankful for that. No, you shouldn't. No, you shouldn't, because guess what? They're not ready. Once they're ready, you're going to start hearing a lot of it popping up out of nowhere. It's like, whoa, interesting, right? You see. It says, but in early July, we did learn that a farm worker has become the fourth confirmed case here in the United States. All right, apparently it was in Colorado, right? He's also dealing with milk and shit. So it's very interesting. They did a test where it's a bioterrorist attack, I think is what they call it, right? It was a drill. out in Colorado back in April, or probably before that, right? But I found out about it in April, all right, and I actually did a video on it where they were saying that there was an emergency attack, with people drinking milk, it was in the milk and people were going crazy and shit like that, you know what I mean? So, hey, they've already done the drill, so they might just follow through with it, right? Because again, when you do these drills for something in the future, there should be some room where you could have some unpredictability going on. But the fact that they can spend, hundreds of thousands of millions of dollars on the drill, you know what I mean, is like you're basically doing a rehearsal for something planned down the line. All right, these drills are mostly a rehearsal, all right, that they do before the actual event happens. Okay, it says a Colorado dairy farm worker is the nation's fourth person to test positive for the highly contagious H5N1 BF virus. The Centers for Disease Control announced Wednesday. You notice they're using the same verbiage, right? Test positive. Okay, because now it's in people's head. I tested positive for COVID. You know what I'm saying? People just do it. Nowadays, you don't really hear it as much. But, people be on that type of shit, man. Till today. All right, it says the infected worker is employed on it. And you know what's funny? You notice people don't even talk about, oh, I got COVID. I thought there was something called long COVID, where you could still have it and all this extra shit after getting the Vanessa, and after all these years, it's still there. Remember, they kept trying to influence people saying that, well, COVID is here to stay. We just gonna have to live with it. It's okay. Everything go back to normal. We just gonna have, the Vanessas and all that. What happened? There's a whole bunch of BS, man. Anyway, so continuing, it says, the other 3 people who also have tested positive for the BF also work on dairy farms where cows tested positive for the virus. Should we start bracing ourselves for the worst? One recent study that was conducted on humanized mice and ferrets produced some very chilling results. Esau always doing some shit. This is researchers from the University of Wisconsin-Madison, Texas A&M Veterinary Medical Diagnostic Laboratory, and 2 Japanese universities study how H5N1 has evolved since the March outbreak by infecting humanized mice. Humanized mice and ferrets in experiments funded by the National Institute of Health, the NIH, I think. They're back at it again, huh? It says, ferrets develop similar respiratory tract infections to humans and develop similar clinical symptoms, making them good models for understanding flu transmission patterns. When infected by directly inserting virus particles into their noses, that whole swabbing thing that they were doing, interesting. Both mice and ferrets developed respiratory symptoms, very interesting. But even though H5N1 has mutated in alarming ways, right now there is no evidence that human-to-human transmission is taking place. Unfortunately, authorities in some countries are not taking any chances and have started to implement measures that are quite dramatic. And this is one of them, I believe, in Finland. Let's see, it says, workers at poultry and fur farms in Finland, will in the coming days receive Vanessas against BF. 14 other EU countries have signed up to procure BF Vanessas through a program set up by the European Commission. America's government has also bought Vanessas in anticipation of a demic. What? And it recently commissioned Moderna, a pharmaceutical company, to create an mRNA BF Vanessa using a technology that was effective in protecting against CV. And this is all a quote from these people, mind you. All right. It says, hopefully there will not be a BF demic. I don't know why this guy's hoping for that. I mean, come on, bro. It says, because after all of the pain and suffering that the last one caused, most of us don't want to ever go through something like that ever again. Well, that was just the beginning. All right. That was everything that happened. There you go. Everything that happened, that was just 0.6% mortality rate. And what's his name? Klaus Schwab, Professor Klaus Schwab. All right, he came out and said a few years ago that Cyber Polygon with if the powers to go out, the kind of effect that it will have on the global economy, societies, and everything as a whole. You know, he said it'll make the CV look like a walk in the park. You know, a cakewalk in the park, mind you. All right, cakewalk in the park. You know, damn, that's crazy. It says, sadly, we live at a time when scientists are playing around with the most deadly bugs ever known to humanity in secret labs all over the planet. And people know about it, but there's nothing they can do about it. You know why? Because the scriptures tell you, Job 9:24, the earth is given into the hands of the wicked. Okay, so they have the power to do all sorts of wickedness, you know what I mean? And it goes unchecked. All right, it goes unchecked. And what is anyone going to do about it? Right? It says, and once a bug gets loose, it can spread across the globe in the blink of an eye. As my regular readers, blah, blah, blah. Okay. All right. So then this guy starts getting a little personal with it, you know, about his concerns and all that. I think that's pretty much it, right? So at least we get the understanding, okay, that there's chaos coming. You know, this is all going to lead to massive, massive deaths. Okay, a lot of people going to be resulting in death as an outcome for the so-called International Bird Flu Summit. Okay, which is going to be held in Washington this coming October. So how many months is that? We're in July, August, September, October. So in 3 months, okay, in 3 months they're going to be discussing. They're going to be doing emergency planning. Okay, and the past few videos I've been going into through the Spirit is all going into what Esau is doing. All right, as a so-called preparation step for what they anticipate, you know, to be coming to the streets and the homes of America, Babylon the Great very soon. Okay, again, this is going to be the step where they lead in order to actually start getting into people's homes, by bringing in this new technology they've been working on since the past couple of years. It's all going to be coming out now. Everything is going to be coming out. You're going to be hearing about One Health, right? We've done videos on that. All right, you're going to be hearing about all these different new technology that people are going to be using as a health-based, accessory or app or whatever you call it, QR code, whatever. New legislations, new, laws, all kinds of different stuff, And of course, when you have the WHODAT, once they're completed with their whole One Accord Treaty thing and everything is all finished and done with, you're going to start seeing them also play a role in this whole new disease outbreak control shit. You know what I mean? The preventions and the cures and all this different stuff that they use, the words that they use in order to bring more health upon people and their economies and their countries and so on and so forth. You're going to see all that play out. Okay, we're going to see all that play out, man. All right, and ultimately, like we always say, it's all leading to the MOTB. Okay, because they'll tie that in to your ability to identify yourself in order to, participate in the new economy. Okay, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. It's going to happen very quickly. All right, like Trump says, quickly. Right? So let's get this real quick. There's a book of Jeremiah, chapter 51 and verse 6. It says, flee out of the midst of Babylon and deliver every man his soul. Be not cut off in her iniquity, for this is the time of the Lord's vengeance. He will render unto her a recompense. Okay, so Babylon is in for a treat. Okay, it's in for a very, very massive casualty treat. Okay, and the Lord is going to see to it that all you wicked ass people that you just keep getting more and more wicked and more vile. All right, the Lord is going to punish you. Okay, how about Shemi Al-Shai is going to bring the Punisher out. All right, it's going to come as a form of famines, diseases, natural disasters, earthquakes, hurricanes, you name it, is coming. And on top of that, Esau going to be right there, all right, to take advantage of all those cracks in your doors, man. All right, he's stepping right in, kicking your doors in, all right, grabbing you up, your daughters, your sons, everybody's getting taken, man. All right, and if you're not of the elect, you're done. It's over with. All right, it's over with, man. But I just wanted to give you this quick update here. All right, Lord willing, you were informed. and edified. In closing, I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai Ba'ashem, Ruach HaKodesh, the water Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, and until next time, Shalom.